Hello, fellow beaders. It's JP, and I have a easy earring tutorial for you. These make up very quickly, and you only need a couple of bead types to get it done. 3 actually, and that's it. You'll need super duos, and so the super duos I'm using, they're from Potomac Beads, and this is a mix. It's called African Turquoise 2 is the name of the mix. So it's a mix of different turquoise beads, and I've got a couple silver ones. But if you're looking for this, it is Potomac Beads, Super Duos, African Turquoise 2. My 11s, oh, and you're going to need 24 to make a pair of earrings. My 11s are my Auracrystals galvanized silver 11s. And then these are Rondelles. These are 4x3s, but you can pretty much use any bead. So I recommend using a 4mm bead of your choice, and it doesn't have to be a rondelle. It could be fire polish or bicone or a round bead like a pearl. You just need something in between. So using a 4mm of any type of bead will work for this and does not have to be a rondelle. I just happen to have these rondelles that are very close in color to the seed bead mix, which is why I use them. And these are just an opaque turquoise. You'll need 2 ear wires, and I used about 18 inches of a 6-pound fireline. Here's my fireline, 6-pound, and of course a beading needle. And excuse me, my voice is cracking. And that's all you need, and we can get started. To begin our earring, what you want to do is pick up 6 super duo beads and 6 of the size 11 seed beads here. And you're going to do it in alternating order. So I started with the super duo and then an 11, super duo and 11. So that's the pattern that you want to use, and you want to just make sure that you have 6 of each. Then go ahead and tie a knot. So we're going to make a ring. And what you want to do is just tie basically a square knot. Nothing complicated. And there's the ring. This is what you should have once you're done. Now I'm going to go ahead and go through all the beads to reinforce my ring here. And so the first bead I'm going to go into is just the super duo, and then I'm just going to continue going through it a couple of beads at a time. And let's see if I can get that. Trying to fix the focus there. It looked a little blurry to me. Okay, so I've gone through 3. I'm going to go through another 3, or 4 in this case. And once again, I'm going to continue through the next 4 beads. And now we've gone all the way around. Now what I want to do is just exit out of a super duo. So I'm just going to continue forward until I get to the silver super duo here. And now go into the second hole of the super duo, just like that. Pick up a super duo, then 3 11 beads. Just like that. I'm going to put that down and bring this to the bottom of the thread, like so. Then go through the other hole of this same super duo, so you can see, and then the next super duo here. And let me bring that up a little closer so you can see what I'm doing there. And so you can see that the superduo is sitting in between the two superduos, but it's sitting horizontally. And these two superduos are at a V shape here. And then you're just going to repeat this all the way around. And so again, I'm going to pick up a superduo and 3 11s. Bring those to the bottom of the thread. Then go into the second hole of the superduo here. So that second hole, and then this next superduo right next to it. And so you get the superduos to sit horizontally, or you'll get the new superduos sit horizontally. And if you see this, there's this gap in the thread. All you do is hold on to the superduo and just give it a tug. And that should eliminate that gap. And again, you're going to repeat all the way around. So you're going to repeat this 6 times. And so I'm just going to show it to you and you'll see it 6 times. And I think that should start to make sense. So what I've done is picked up my superduo and I'm picking up my 3 11s. I'm going to bring this all the way down to the bottom. Get those beads in place. Make sure my superduo is facing the right direction. Go into the other hole of the superduo, and then the superduo that's coming up next in the ring. And let me go ahead and tighten this up. And again, this is a little loose. You can see that it's not sitting. So and all you have to do is give it a tug and get it in position. And once again, I'm going to pick up a superduo, then pick up 3 of the 11 beads, bring them down, go into the other hole of the superduo and the next superduo in the ring. And then just tighten away. That's it. Just like that. We're almost done with our ring here. And again, it is superduo, 3 11s, bring it all down, go into the second hole of the superduo and the next superduo in the ring. Okay, last time, I'm going to pick up another superduo here and picking up my 3 11-0 beads and just get them down as close to the piece as possible. Go to that other hole of the superduo there and then into this next or first superduo in the ring. So we've gone all the way around and we're back where we started. And we're pretty close to being done, but once you finish going through this, going around like this, you're going to want to reinforce because this is going to feel a little bit floppy. And so what I've done to make it tighter, because this isn't floppy feeling, as these are all sitting very, very nicely. And so I've actually reinforced the whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going through every single bead again. And so I'm coming out of the silver one, I'm going to go up into the superduo that's horizontal. And then I've gone up into the 11 there. And this will remove any slack that you have in the thread as you're going around. Now you're going to follow basically the thread path. So go through the 2 11s. And then down into the second hole of that same superduo, and then connect into the next superduo there. To the two, you can see that I'm going through both of the superduos. And then up into the next horizontal superduo and the 11. You're going to find that the needle is automatically going into that first 11, and there's no reason why it shouldn't. Then into the next two 11s, and then down into the superduo, the second hole of the superduo and the other superduo that it is connected to. So you can see there. And again, up into the superduo. And I want to make sure I'm going into that 11. The two 11s. And then the two superduo here, the second hole of the one superduo and into the superduo that it's connected to. And once again, up. Into those two 11s. Then the second hole of the superduo. Then the next superduo there. You can do them together. You don't necessarily, so I just went ahead and did the superduos one at a time. It really does not matter. And this is the last one here, so I'm gonna we're almost done here. My two 11s, and then superduo, and then the other superduo here. Okay, let's make sure I didn't get this thread wrapped. I did. Look at that. Okay, this is the last one. And then down the superduo, and okay, so this will feel much firmer now that as you've gone through it all. And what I'm going to do now is just continue forward, and I want to come out of this 11. It really does not matter. You just want to come out of one of these middle 11s because we're going to go ahead and make this up section here. Okay, so now I just got to go into the superduo here. And then up into the horizontal superduo. And it did not go into the 11 there, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the next two 11s. Whoops, totally missed that. Hand-eye coordination. Okay, now pick up two 11s, then a rondelle, and then 7 of the 11 beads. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Bring those down, and then you're going to go back into the rondelle, skipping over all 7 of those seed beads. And I'm just going to make sure there's no slack. So here's what you should have, and then pick up 2 more of the 11s. Now note that this is where we started with, we were coming out of this middle seed bead here, and I went in this direction. So I want to go into the seed bead in from the opposite direction. So that those two are sitting side by side, like so. And this is what you want. Now go into the first 11. And then pick up an 11, and then go up into the 11 and the rondelle. Just don't go into anything else. And this is what you should have. So this little 11 here is going to stick out. And then we're going to go around. So you're going to go into the first 11 here. Then you're going to skip the next 11 and go into the 11 after that. And what this will do is force the one that we skipped to pop out. And you may have to kind of tug on the thread to get it to position. And now we're going to repeat. So we're coming out of that 11. You're going to skip the next one and go into the one after that. Okay, my fingers are falling, or letting this piece fall. Let's try that again. Okay, so I skipped that one, and I'm going to go into that one. And I will move my fingers out of the way here. And you can see that sometimes this will happen, where the one you skipped is getting pushed down, and you don't want that. You want it to pop out. So just give it a tug like that, and then tighten the thread. So now it's in position. And last time, this one now is going to get skipped, and we're going to go into the 11. And this can be a little bit tricky to go into just because it's so close to the other rondelle. So I'm going to go ahead and go on in down through the rondelle too. So you're skipping this one, going into the 11, and then the rondelle. And you can see you got that diamond pattern, that triangular diamond pattern that I typically do, and that's how you do it. Just wanted to show you a different way of doing it. Now we are going to go into the 11 here. And we are going to add another 11, grab an 11, and go into this next 11. And don't worry, that's going to pop into place here. And then you go into the one after that. And there you go. Got my little double diamonds with a rondelle in between. Now I'm just going to go back all the way around these beads just to reinforce one more time, and then I will tie off. So this time you can go through all of the beads and you don't have to skip anything. And so I'm going to go into these 2 here. Trying to make sure that thread does not get caught anywhere. and then into the 11 and up into the rondelle. Oops. Okay. Now go through, if you can, go through these next 2 beads. And this will be really a little bit tight there because that seed bead is sitting very much tight up against that rondelle. And let's see, so I might have to do this one at a time, but if I can just find an opening there and avoid stabbing myself. And let's see, so it is definitely being a challenge, and I think the tip is just coming up against the second seed bead there. Okay, so, and I like to leave, you know, I think you see me leaving in all my bloopers and mistakes because I can kind of show you what kind of trouble you can run into. So see, once I got the angle right, it went in very easily. Okay, next 2 beads. And now the next 2. The next 11 here. And I'm going to go into that. Then into the rondelle. And now to the 2 beads on the opposite side from where we started. And then down the next 2. Okay, so again, I'm having some issues with angles there, but there it goes. There goes the needle. It went into just the one. And now I can go into the next one. Oh. Okay, and now we can tie off. So I've reinforced that. And then I can go down into this 11 and into the superduo. And to make this easier on myself, I'm going to go into the next superduo. And then switch into the second hole of this same superduo here and into the 11. Now I can tie 1/2 inch knots between the 11 and the superduos, and that makes it much easier to just kind of do a couple of knots, do maybe 2 or 3, and get this whole thing tied off. So just make sure the thread is not wrapped anywhere, and then go into the superduo and the next 11 and then tie the next knot. And now we're going to repeat. I'll just do one more. Okay, so that's 3, and I went ahead and went into the next set of 11s just to, or 11 and super duo, just to get away, move away from the knot a little bit. And now I'm just gonna trim my thread, add my ear wire. Just gonna tighten this up. Okay, here we go. So those make up pretty quickly. Cute little earrings, just to, you know, if you need that, you know, late Christmas gift. Oops, I am out there in the center. So if you need some kind of late Christmas gift, there you have it. Cute pair of earrings. Well, and this can be a gift for anything, not just a Christmas gift or a, it could be a birthday present, Mother's Day present, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.